I'm not someone that particularly enjoys talking about my health. I have in the past explained a few things about what's gone on with my health. And every day when I get an email, people write to me and they go, "Hi Vicky, I hope you are well." It's the first thing, "I hope you are well." And I never reply. I never say, "Well, actually, I haven't been well," or I don't even reply. I just leave it because I don't know. I'm just not someone that wants attention towards health. But I just wanted to, I get a lot of private messages as well, just people asking how my health has been. So, quick rundown, I have had a lot of problems in the past. It took a really, really long time for a diagnosis. Started off with lots of sinus infections and I used to feel really, really dizzy. Like, I don't know, I never fainted and I never fell over, but I always had the feeling I was about to. And I felt weird. And every time I try to go to the doctor and explain that I just don't feel right, they tried this, they tried that, didn't work, tried something else, didn't work. No one was pinpointing what the problem was. And it wasn't until, it was after I had that episode in hospital, which was, I'd taken an aspirin and didn't realise that I'm highly allergic to aspirin, so I had an anaphylaxis reaction. And that still didn't come up in the hospital. After all that, nobody actually said to me in the ambulance, like afterwards when I'd come to, no one said to me, "Did you take anything?" No one asked that question. So from all the tests they were running, they didn't know what the problem was. And so they sent me for heart tests, they sent me for lung tests, and I was already an asthmatic. I've been an asthmatic since I was 25. So they were doing more lung function tests and still not pinpointing it. And I went a couple of times. I had to get one of my sons here to drive me to the emergency here. This is after the anaphylaxis, because I just couldn't, my asthma, I couldn't breathe. I just couldn't get the air flowing. And they would put me on an asthma machine, give me a course of steroids and send me back home again. And it wasn't until I took an ibuprofen for I had a joint pain that I had the same anaphylaxis reaction. And then they all put two and two together that I am allergic to what's called NSAIDs, non-steroidal, I can't think of the full word. So, and my doctor at the time had to go on maternity leave, so I got a new doctor, and I went to visit this new doctor on the very first time. I told her the whole history of the last 4 or 5 years of what's been going on. And then she sat there and looked at me. She said, "You've got Samters Triad," or AERD is what it's called. And it just was like the heavens had opened up and I just got my answer. And it all made sense. And when I got home and I went onto a Facebook support page for Samters Triad and looked at it, it was like, oh, I found my people. And so that was in 2023, after going to the doctors for 5 years. 2023, she finally told me what the problem was. It is, because it's called Triad, the three things, it's asthma, nasal polyps where lumps grow all through your sinuses, so it's you can't clear them. No nasal sprays will clear it. Flushing them won't clear it. They're blocked by growths. And the third one is having an allergy to aspirin or ibuprofen, the NSAIDs. So they are the triad. That's the three things. And so what it is the histamine cell in my body overreacts and it thinks it's being attacked, and it's triggered by environmental things like ryegrass and cats and mold and dust and anything that can trigger allergies. It's triggered, but my histamine cells just go into overdrive and say, produce a lot of mucus, right, and inflame everything. So that's why your sinuses are continually making mucus, and your ears get blocked. And this all is, it's like having a head cold 24/7. And people say that to me in their video. They go, "Have you got a cold?" because they can hear it through my speech. It's a disgusting disease or condition because I'm constantly coughing up bloody mucus. Sometimes it gets stuck in my throat and I lose my voice. And you wake up in the morning and it's just muck comes out, and then you get postnasal drip that goes down to the back of your throat. Your ears block up because it all flows back to your ears. Then you're dizzy when you get up because everything's blocked. It's just all up in here, and you get sinus headache. And so I had surgery in December 2023 where they cut out all the polyps and took the septum thing that's in the middle of my nose, they took it out. So there's a big hole at the back there now, so it lets everything drain. And within, I went back for my checkups 3 months later, and then 6 months later, and they've all grown back. All the polyps grew back because my histamine cells are still saying, build mucus, build mucus. And then so this is all, these polyps, I think, are kind of like a protection in your nose. I think the job that they think they're doing is they're just filling up. They're like a bowl that just fills up with fluid, like a balloon, like if you had tiny little balloons all full of fluid in your sinuses. So I went back to the immunologist, and she has been for the last, so where are we, end of 2025, so for 2 years she's been trying to get me onto, which I finally got yesterday, Nucala injections, which is mepolizumab. I think they call it a mepo injection, Nucala. In America, they use Duxapent, but we have this in Australia, and it is extremely hard to get this because it is so expensive, and you have to have a lot of qualifications to get it. You can't just be an asthmatic on its own, or like if I just had sinus infections and didn't have the asthma with it and the allergies with it, I wouldn't get that. It's really, really hard to get it, to qualify for it. So for 2 years, she's been trying to get me on it, and she finally got me on it. And yesterday I had my first injection. So it's a EpiPen type thing, and I just have to stab it in my leg or stomach once a month. That's it, once a month. And what it does is gets a message to the histamine cells to stop overreacting. Which then should calm down the mucus supply. I know a lot of people, like on the group that I'm on, a lot of people on this report that it's changed their life being on the Nucala injections. Their mucus stops like building up so much. I have no taste and no smell. And so sometimes that comes back and sometimes it doesn't. That's not a given. With some of the people, they got their smell back. Some people, no, it still hasn't come back. It reduces the inflammation in the body. And overall, that overall feeling where I just don't feel right, they say that you start feeling better again. It's a little bit, you try to exercise and then your asthma gets worse. Oh, and it also helps with your asthma a lot as well. So fingers crossed, because it works. Like there's an 80% chance that it's going to work, and then there's a smaller chance that it's not going to work, because for some people it doesn't make any difference. So I've had my first injection yesterday. I'll have another one on the 27th of December, which I can do myself at home. You can do them yourself. They taught me how to do that. And after 5 months, I'm going back to see if symptoms have eased and if it's worked. So that's an update on my health. I have great respect for anybody out there that has a disease that can't be seen. Because if you've got a broken arm or a broken leg, or you've something evidential on your body, people can see that you're unwell. But when you've got something going on the inside and you look well on the outside, I get comments on my videos saying, "Oh, you look so well," and you've got no idea what's going on the inside. I don't go out because I am dizzy a lot of the times. I don't enjoy. I get this kind of everything swaying, and it's not enjoyable to go out. I can't taste and I can't smell, so I don't want to go out for a meal and pay for a meal because I can't taste it. What, like, to my theory is, why would I want to pay for something I can't taste? So I stay home a lot, and it suits me fine. And I changed my diet. I cut it. There's no alcohol. There's no soft drinks. There's no sugary stuff. There's a lot of fresh food, a lot of seafood. Seafood's really good. Like, you go on an omega-3 diet, which helps with inflammation, or an anti-inflammatory diet. All those things are really, really good. Very, very helpful. I get a lot of advice from people, in that, like, in the best interests of, they are trying to be kind, and they will say, have you tried this or have you tried that? And it's, or like, my dad will ring up and say, oh, because he has allergies, and he'll say, oh, I've got this wonderful nasal spray. And I'm like, Dad, that's great, it works for you, but my nose is full of polyps, like balloons filled with fluid. That the spray does nothing. It does nothing. The polyps have to physically, in surgery, be cut out and removed. You can't make them go away. But this injection does help shrink them because it's fighting from the inside. So it's a great reminder when you see people and they look well, and they're very bubbly, and they don't tell you if there's something wrong. They don't talk about their health. You don't know. You just don't know what's going on with somebody. And it's a reminder to just be kind, I guess, if you can be kind to people, because if someone is nasty and you're not having a really good day, you don't know what you're going to trigger in them by you upsetting them. So yeah, that's an update on my health. Probably won't do any more on my health because I really don't like talking about it, but there you go.